When we started, Walgreens, like so many companies, had run out of growth. They had really one lever to pull, and that was build more stores. One day, there were no more great corners for them to build out on. And so they started to build in locations that weren't as perfect for them. And that was because they had either been, got to those corners, or their rivals like CVS or Rite Aid had as well. And so what happens when you run out of growth? The one lever that you've been pulling, you just can't get anything more out of that. That was a journey not in, hey, what do we sell? How do we go to market? All of those things, of course, had to be looked at. It was a journey on, what are we all about as a brand? What is our purpose here? And when we asked the question, what business are you in at the outset? They would say, are you crazy? We're in the pharmacy business, we're in the drugstore business. Well, in actual fact, they weren't. And by looking at the DNA of that brand and going back to what is the true purpose of this brand? How did it originate? What made it successful before it got to scaling itself in the way I just described? It came down to this notion of we make it easy to lead happy and healthy lives. And easy was right at the corner, right in my neighborhood. Happy and healthy was this idea that, yes, there's a pharmacist that I know and trust. Yes, they have healthful recommendations, prescriptions, and products. But that was very joined up to this notion of happiness. This was the first company, they invented the malted milk, for example. They created the corner drugstore that you would go to with your family for a treat after a ball game. And that sort of collection of parts that aren't obviously connected actually do connect in this powerful idea of at the corner of happy and healthy. Well, the journey we went on was to uncover that DNA, to get that story and that narrative, and then to bring it into the world of what's happening today, what do customers value, and then recreate the customer experience around that notion that only really they were about. And that led to Walgreens, at the time we engaged with them, flat growth to plus 6-7% comp store sales growth on the base of stores they had built. Were there some new ones? Sure, but not like the past. But what they realized was, we're not in the drugstore business, we're in the happy and healthy business. And that is a very emotionally rich place to play. And it's true, it's their heritage, it's who they are. Many of the initiatives, we stood up a loyalty program, we retooled private brand with the leadership team, and many other sort of more functional things that we did, they all laddered up to that idea. But most importantly, the head and the heart and the hands of every one of those 220,000 people started to engage in ways they hadn't. Well, what happened? Sales started to go up. They went up before the private brand got optimized for the brand portfolio. They went up before the loyalty program was launched, which gave a more robust proposition to customers. They went up because they started to buy into something bigger and more powerful. And they started to understand that change was not scary. Change was something that they can embrace and actually take on and make happen, all centered around this very big idea, this very big, noble idea of we're in the happy and healthy business. Our job is to help people have the fullest possible lives that are happy and healthy. Wow, we built a whole campaign with an agency partner to bring that to life. And what happened? The stock price went from $18, $19 up into the 60s, a historic high, and that changed the ability for them to participate in a global merger that took them forward to the next chapter.